Welcome into today's show. I'm your host, Will Ortner. This is Seahawks Today, and we need to talk about the defensive changes that I would like the Seattle Seahawks to make during their bye week. This is the perfect opportunity to fix some of the things that you haven't been able to fix just quite yet for the entire season, because you got a long stretch that you need to excel at. Because Seattle Seahawks have bigger plans than just getting through the regular season. Seahawks have big plans on getting into the postseason and being successful in said postseason. Before we get into these changes, though, I got to say thank you and clap it up, man. That's freaking awesome. Thank you, guys. We reached 74K subscribers just yesterday. It's awesome. I appreciate all of your guys' help. And now the road to 75K really ramps up. It's right there. It's in our sight. It's in our vision. It's less than 1,000 subs away. If we get there by the end of October, watch out. The channel just keeps growing. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Just wanted to make sure that I let you guys know that I love you. All right. So the first defensive change that I would make for your Seattle Seahawks is actually one that you don't really control, and it's just a little bit different than I think most people would go into, but you need to get healthy, man. You need to get healthy in the secondary. The entire defense as a whole, but really the secondary. I mean, shoot, when you're looking at the key contributors to this defense, Devon Witherspoon is what? Maybe your 1, 2, 3 player on this defense. Guess who else is in that category? Julian Love, your safety. Both of those guys have missed extended periods of time. You've been hoping, praying, wishing that they'd come back. I thought that you might get them back in the Jaguars game. You were thinking, hey, maybe we'll get one of them back in the Texans game. You didn't get any of those guys back. It does sound like from Mike McDonald that you are going to get Devon Witherspoon and Julian Love back after the bye week. That is huge. Derick Hall as well. Obviously, the outside linebacker is a backup for you, but he's been a key pressure getter for you in this defensive front seven that just continues to eat. Now, when I look at Devon Witherspoon's season stats so far, obviously they're not great, but then you look at what his totals are through how many games he's played, and all of a sudden it's, 17 tackles through 2 games. That's basically, 8.5 per game? That's a high mark for a corner. For a player like Devon Witherspoon that you can continue to bounce inside in the slot. You can bounce him on the outside as a corner. I mean, shoot, the way that this defense runs, sometimes you might use him as a third safety. The ability to have versatility for Devon Witherspoon in this defense is absolutely massive for you. Getting him back, getting him rocking and rolling, getting him ready to go is only going to make this defense stronger, especially as you've seen the growth and progression from a player like Nick Emmanwori, a player who continues to excel in the slot. Imagine having a slot safety that is Nick Emmanwori, and also on the opposite side when a team goes for wide receivers, having Devon Witherspoon out there in the slot as well. Absolutely massive. The next one, Julian Love. He is the captain of that secondary for you. 18 tackles on the season. Frankly, you've really only seen one good game from him, and I should say good, I should say healthy, right? He has been beat up for most of the year. He's been dealing with that hamstring injury, getting him back, getting him in a position to where he can play a multitude of spots. Remember, you use Julian Love down in the box. You use Julian Love back in the back end. Getting him back and getting his communication out there is going to be key, so that way you don't have players that are 2 guys covering the same wide receiver, and 1 wide receiver is running free all by himself. Last guy, obviously, Derick Hall. Big season. What we don't go into account enough here is while he doesn't have a sack on the year, his pressure rate is high. They were comparing his pressure marks with Micah Parsons at one point in this season. You saw it as soon as he went out against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with his oblique injury, that it's just a different defense. It's not a weak defense. That's clearly that would be a mistake to say. It's just a different defense. It's a defense that doesn't have as many opportunities and options to get to the quarterback. This defense is going to get stronger, not because players aren't playing up to their capabilities, not because players haven't reached their full potential, but because you are going to reach the full potential of this defense because you won't be hamstrung, see what I did there, by injuries. You will not be stopped by a lack of skills that, frankly, just some of your backups have, right? A Ty Okutta is only going to be so good. And that's not an attack on Ty. It's just Julian Love is better. There's a reason why he's a starter. So getting this defense back and fully complemented Man, oh man, watch out. That's a great bye week change as everyone gets healthy. The other big one for me is the communication factor. Now, I briefly mentioned it with Julian Love, but how many times this year have we seen just issues with one safety thinking that he should have the flat, the other corner thinks that he should have the flat. Now you got Emeka Ibuka all by himself running free. There's a picture here that we have, and we're going to throw it up on the full screen. And I want to make sure that I highlight the top corner. You are going to see there's a Jaguars wide receiver that's running out looking like he's about to block. That's Brian Thomas Jr. He is faking a bubble screen here. Now, because we can't show the video, you just have to trust me, but if you want to go look it up later, you can. He fakes a bubble and wheels out for a touchdown. Right over here, he's going to fake and wheel out for a touchdown. And both Nick Emanwari, who is right there, there we go, and Shaq Griffin, who's right there, they're both going to go to the bubble screen right over there. And Brian Thomas Jr. runs free all by himself. Now, that is just one instance that I have shown you. That is just one situation where it came up. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it happened multiple times. It happened a couple times as well against the Houston Texans. That offense just sucks, so you didn't get burned by it. Every once in a while, you see a lapse in communication from this secondary, and it has been a killer. It's been a reason why teams have stayed in games. It's also been a reason why teams were able to beat you. You need Julian Love back out there communicating the defense the way that it should be. And if it's not him out there, then guess what? Kobe Bryant has to take over. I understand that some of the issues right now for you are because you're on your second and third string guys. It needs to get fixed. The second and third string guys need to get further ahead, and Julian Love coming back from his injury will help fix this. You need to fix the communication. I'm at a point where I'd rather have everyone talking too much and be a little slow to spots, but still be in the right spots, than not talk enough, because it seems like the Seahawks have had too many issues of not talking enough, and that's allowed for some big plays from opposing teams. Look, it's a little bit negative today, and it's not supposed to be. You have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Frankly, you might have the best defense in the NFL. So I do want to get a little positive on today's show. Who has been your defensive MVP? Go down below in the comments and let me know. I think if I had to lean on anyone right now, it might be Byron Murphy II. What he's doing at that nose guard spot is just incredible. But I want to know who you think it is. Let me know down below. We're going to get into my last fix that the Seahawks need to make, or change the Seahawks need to make on defense. But before I do that, I want to tell you about our proud sponsor, and that, of course, is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks does not hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones are overhyped. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. I have a 3-pick power play for this weekend. Jamar Chase, more on his receiving yards. Bijan Robinson, more on his rush plus receiving TDs. And Jonathan Taylor, more on his rush plus receiving TDs. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Now, the last defensive change that I want to talk about is more of a philosophy. Now, think about how good the Seahawks defense has been. They're flying around. Teams aren't really able to run the football against them. They're making big plays. They're getting turnovers. But how are they getting those turnovers? They're all interceptions. Would you believe it if I told you that the Seahawks have not forced a single fumble this season in 2025? Not one fumble has been forced. That's absolutely insane. You got to have your guys going after the football more, getting aggressive with that peanut punch, trying to rip at it. I mean, shoot, when you have a defense that continues to perform at the level that they have been in Seattle, how do you not just dumb into a fumble? I mean, shoot, how have you not had a quarterback fumble a snap? How have you not had a snap go over someone's head? These things just happen all the time, magically out of thin air for other teams, but not the Seahawks team. And I think that Seattle does a good job of making sure that they get people down. But now, trust yourself. Hey, if I'm Drake Thomas and I'm coming in for a tackle and I know I got Ernest Jones behind me and I got Leonard Williams on the other side, well, I'm going to come in and try and punch at that ball, or I'm going to grab it at the top and try and rip it out. You go through these practices where you're practicing drills on how to force fumbles. You need to start getting them going for your team. Interceptions have been great, but turnovers can flip games. They flip momentum, especially when it comes in from a forced fumble. I feel like fixing this is going to be very easy for this defense. All you got to do is just have more of a focus to it. Be more attentive. Hey, the ball carrier, he's got the ball way out here. I can come in, punch at it. I can rip at it. I can get this ball out. When you're coming in for a quarterback, they got their back turned to you, right? And they're coming here, getting ready to throw. Boom. Come in, knock the ball down. Nick Bosa did that to you. We need to get some punch outs, please. We need to get the ball punched out and get the ball on the ground. Your Seattle Seahawks have got to start forcing more fumbles. These are the defensive changes that I want to see happen in Seattle. Obviously, getting healthy, you don't really control that, but it is important. You need to get there. The communication, you do control that. Be over-communicative. Do the things that your girlfriend or your boyfriend gets mad at you for not doing. Talk. Use your voice. Make sure everyone's on the same page. It's not that hard. Take the extra second. Make sure that you're communicating what the play is and where people need to be. And last but not least, go in and force some GD fumbles. Go force a fumble every once in a while. We're 7 weeks into the year, and the Seahawks have zero forced fumbles. Got to find a way to get those balls out and get them on the ground. Help flip games for you. Thank you again so much. I love and I appreciate every single one of you that came in and helped us get to 74K. Now we're making it another 1,000 further. We're going to get to 75K. Hopefully we're able to do it by Halloween. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys later.